Okay, so recently picked up the Elchin 3900. It's the one on the left. I picked it up like a few weeks ago. So I've had some time to use it and get a real world sort of experience with it. The one on the right is also my hair dryer. It's a Super Solano X, which I picked up 10 years ago. And it still works, which is pretty fucking amazing. So they're both made in Italy. They're both professional hair dryers. The Super Solano was about $140, but I only paid about $80 for it. And the Elchim 3900 is about $190, but I only paid $140 for it. I actually, despite the fact that the two of them were bought 10 years apart, I bought both of them on the same online store. It's goodmans.net or something. For whatever reason, this store had both of these hair dryers for far cheaper than Amazon. I buy almost everything from Amazon, but these fucks, I don't know, it was just huge savings, so I got them from Goodman's. But anyway, so I was pretty happy with the Super Solano X, but it is kind of big, and I was looking for something to carry with me to the swimming pool. So I started looking at something cheaper, smaller. And this one, the Elchim, it is definitely smaller. So let's see. Just how much smaller it is. Hold on a second. See? So it's quite a bit smaller, and mainly because of the shorter nose. The reason the nose is shorter on the Elchim is because in the Super Solano the heating coil, it's sort of straight, whereas in the Elchim it's like a cone. So it's thinner on this side, but it goes thicker, which allows them to pack it in shorter nose. And then here, where it's just straight and long. So this is one big advantage. Well, first of all, I'm just gonna spoil the fucking review for it. This fucking Elchim is 10 times better than the Super Solano. Okay, so I'm very happy. I'm frankly, in retrospect, I have no idea why I got it. Aside from the fact that I was bored, and this is kind of dying slowly, but it still works. But this works, the Elchim works much better. So the shorter nose is one advantage, and it's actually a bigger advantage than you think. It's not only is it easier to stuff into a bag when you go into the swimming pool, but also because the nose is shorter, when you're drying your hair, you don't have to extend your arm as much out holding it. You can hold it closer to yourself, so you're holding the weight of the motor closer to yourself. And these are both heavy. I mean, this is really heavy, and this is heavy, but not super heavy. So, okay, this is probably like 50% heavier than your average hair dryer, and this is twice as heavy as average hair dryer. They're so heavy because they're professional grade, so designed to have a lot of power and long-lasting motors, so the motors are much bigger. So with the shorter nose, you don't have to extend your arm as much, and it's just more comfortable. Like with this, I can dry my hair and I feel nothing. With this, if I dry my hair, I'm beginning to feel that my arm is getting tired because I have to hold it like all the way out because of this long nose. Now the second difference is the color. When I was looking at the pictures of them, no, they both just look red, but really you cannot compare the red and this and this. This is just cheap plastic red, and this is like a metallic paint job on a fucking Harley Davidson or something. I don't know. This is just a very nice quality finish. It looks like some kind of pearl effect, metallic, very expensive looking paint. Whereas this, there is no paint, it's just red plastic. Now a third difference is this little thing. So this little rubber bump, it prevents it from getting scratched when you put it on the table. It also prevents it from sliding off the table if you accidentally pull on the cord, like if your foot catches on the cord as you're walking, this thing would slide off the table and on the floor. This would at least have some fighting chance of holding onto the table because of this rubber pane. Now this old Super Solano, it used to have a grill in the front, but the grill was plastic and it broke. Here the grill is steel, so it has a much better chance of surviving. I mean, it's a much higher quality grill. Maybe you don't care about this, but if you're gonna stuff it into your gym bag and go to the pool, chances are high that a plastic grill in the front is gonna die. On the back it has a removable mesh grill. This one, I'm not really sure what kind of grill it used to have, but it was either broken or lost. Well, it's not there anymore. And you can see the impeller. And you can also see some hair in there, you see? So the hair is what's killing this thing, and if there was a grill, it would be protecting the internals from the hair, but somehow, as I said, the grill was either broken or lost. Here, it's a nice quality metal grill and it's removable. It's removable on both of them because they're both professional, and on a professional hair dryer you want to be able to remove the grill to clean the hair. Now, I was skeptical about the shape of this handle because it seems like there's no reason for it to have the shape. Here it's just straight, but I have to say both handles are extremely comfortable. And the controls are basically identical in terms of like one switch has both switches have 3 positions. One regulates the fan and one the heat. And this is the cold shot. I'm not sure really what this does. Probably also a cold shot. I'm not really using this button. But these two are same as these two. But this button is much more comfortable to press than this. Like, this button is really uncomfortable. It's very small and hard, whereas this is just much nicer. This is a nice touch. I don't think it makes any difference. Anyway, both handles are nice. One complaint I do have about this is that when you, look closely. When I'm touching one of these, the other one moves as well. Look. Can you see? They both move. So what does this mean? It means that the circuit board to which they're both connected is not solid enough, and when I'm moving one, the other one also moves. That means that there's some internal physical structural weakness that could possibly break over time. It would be better if these toggle switches were mounted directly to the chassis. That would make them less likely to fail over time. But this is literally the only negative I have to have about this hair dryer. It's that it seems that there is some potential weakness inside that something in here could fail. Now, other differences, how these are supposed to be hanged on the wall. Look, the hook for hanging on the wall on this one, the Super Solano, is made out of the hard plastic of the chassis, which means if you drop it, this could easily break because it's very thin and hard. Here, the hook is made out of this rubber, so it's flexible, so you cannot possibly break this. You could only rip this off. But here, you could actually easily break it. So it's like, I keep giving you like ways in which this one is better than this, and it's really, like I said, this one is 10 times better than this one. The only downside being these switches. So, the paint is better, this is better, this button is nicer, the nose is shorter, it's lighter, it's significantly more powerful, it blows much stronger air. Like, this is it's not like weak, but it's nothing mind-blowing. This really, you can really feel the pressure of the air on your head, and when you look into the mirror, your hair is just flying all over the place. I mean, this is like taking a fucking vacuum cleaner and wiring it in reverse. It really blows that hard. Just you can really feel the pressure. Now, one more thing that's better on here is this nose. You can see there is a like a groove here, and the attachments, they click into this, so that you're not just holding the attachment on pressure, it clicks into this thing. Whereas here, any attachments, you just have to stuff on it, and the harder you stuff it on, the better it's gonna hold. But here you don't have to use any kind of force, it just clicks, and this is to me a far superior solution. So yeah, basically, like I said, given that this one I picked up 10 years ago and I only paid about $80 for it, back then it was and it still works after 10 years. I mean, I have absolutely zero regrets about picking this one up. I mean, after 10 years it's definitely, you know, delivered what I paid for it. But at the same time, this Elchim is just head and shoulders way beyond in almost every single way, except for like here the switches are better. Like you see, when I use one switch, the other switch does not move, whereas here you can see the other switch moves, so that shows internal weakness. This is literally the only, yeah, the cord is about the same length and about the same quality on both of them. So this is literally the only downside I can think of on this Elchim. Everything else is superior. It's lighter weight, it's more compact with the shorter nose, it's much more powerful. It only they're both quiet. They're for a hairdryer. This is like super quiet for a hairdryer. This is still quiet for a hairdryer, not crazy quiet like this, but it's more powerful. So like the amount of noise per unit of, you know, airflow is still very low here. In fact, it's probably like you get more air per unit of noise on this one, but not by much. They both deliver like low noise for the amount of air they push, but this pushes far more air and a little bit more noise. So this is better because more air. So it's more compact, it's lighter weight, it pushes more air, it has nicer looking finish. The grill is nicer because it's steel. I don't know. It just really it dries the hair faster. For like $180 from Amazon, it's kind of expensive, but if you go to Goodman's for $140, I think it's well worth the money. I mean, maybe if you don't have any hair like me, maybe it's not worth it. But if you know, if you're looking for something professional grade that's gonna see heavy use, maybe you have a lot of hair, or maybe you have like a large household or something, I think you will not be disappointed with this. I mean, it exceeded all my expectations. Like I was like knowing that, you know, this is like the #1 brand for professional hair dryers and this is like their new product. I was expecting, having previously experienced what, you know, a made in Italy professional hair dryer is supposed to do, I had high expectations for this, but it was just better than anything that I expected. So, you know, okay, it's great. Like I said, this switch, the only downside. Everything else is absolutely fucking perfect.